Okay, this time we're going to continue the sedimentation test, but this time we're going to actually use a cylinder. Here I've got a 100 milliliter cylinder, and we're going to fill it about 20 mils, or 20 milliliters right here. So the theory is I'm going to put some material in here and add water. I'm going to put the soil up to 20, and when I add water, the theory is after 30 seconds, all the sand-sized particles should come out. So if I got 10 to show up in 30 seconds out of 20, that would be about 50% sand. And if I get a little bit more, like the 15 divided by 20 is about 75%. So that tell me it's 75% sand, 25% will still be in the water. Now if you don't have this, what you can do is you can go, maybe you can get a small jar. A real good jar would be a olive jar. The biggest thing is you want something to be vertical and have a flat bottom. And if you don't have a flat bottom, you can just you can take 10 milliliters, pour it in there, mark it. Go to 20, fill it in, mark it. That way you have your own line set up. So here, we'll go ahead and put about 20 milliliters of sand in here. And you want to just tap it lightly, because when you put it in water, it's going to tap. So I got about 15 here. I'll do a little bit more. And you can see I'm just right at 20, maybe a little bit more. Yeah, I'm not tapping it to compact it. I just want it to be right about 20, so that because when we put this water in, the sand will just settle on its own. So that's right at 20. So we'll go ahead and do this. We'll add a little bit of water. So this actually represents almost like the hydrometer test. So I'll just put a little bit of water in here. And now I'm just going to get my hands a little bit soapy, so that, but you don't have to. In the hydrometer test, this just helps the particles stay apart a little bit more. So I got some water in here, and I'll go to about 100 so I can get it to settle. So I'm going to do this for about a minute. So I'll just get my hand dry, and then I'm going to put my hand on top to cover it. Here he's got it started. You can see right here he's on 0, so I'm just going to do it for about a minute. So he's going, so I'm turning it upside down. I got to get that, whatever's at the bottom, I got to get it into solution. So I'm just going back and forth, holding tight, because I don't want any of the water to get out. Now you can see most of it's starting to disappear at the bottom. So I know I've got it in suspension, so I'm just going to go back and forth, kind of rock it. And again, in the beginning, you might have to wiggle it to get it to come off the bottom. So now we're about 30 seconds. I'm going to just do this for a few more times. If you get in the habit, about 1 second per turn, that's about the right amount. That's how you do the real test. Again, the theory is in 30 seconds, all the sand, about 30 seconds to a minute, all the sand will come out. So we have about another 15 seconds. And then since we started with 20, if I get 10, that's about 50%. So I get 15, that means there's about 75% sand. So I'm just going to hold, you go and keep that. Okay, so Gary's going to reset it, and he's going to start it new, and then I'm going to go ahead and set it down. So we'll go ahead and start. So already you can see I've got about 13 or 14, and it hadn't even been about 10 seconds yet. Everything above in about 30 seconds to a minute, that's the silt and clay that's still in suspension. So the theory is the sands will fall out in about 30 seconds. So right now we're at about 14, maybe 15. So got a few more seconds. And I can tell it looks like, yeah, we're right about 30 seconds. So I'd say we're right around here. So we're at 15 out of 20. So 15 divided by 20 is about 75%, so that's about the same as we found when we did the number 200 sieve, and we measured about 2 centimeters by 2 centimeters, and we were about this big. We made a cube about that big, that high, that wide. We put it in there and washed it away, and we had about 70, my guess was 70% still in the sieve. When we did this test, we found out we had 75%, so it's a little bit more precise, but again, the only real way is to dry it out. But in the field, if this is all you have, you can do it based on this, or if you have a little cylinder, you can do it based on this and just get the test done in 2 or 3 minutes. So again, we got about right around 14, 15. So it's either 70, 75%, 14 divided by 20, or 15 divided by 20. And that is the sedimentation test.